So I was just at Barnes & Noble for the July Criterion Collection sale, and also tried to see if I could find any Radiance Films, because much like they've been doing biannually a 50% off Criterion sale in July and November, they've just started for the first time to do a 50% off sale of Radiance Films titles. I went to a store in Morris Plains, New Jersey. It's actually, I've mentioned this occasionally if you know me or have spoken to me about Barnes & Noble, if I've spoken to you about Barnes & Noble at any point in the past, and that this is the store that is featured in a pivotal scene in the Sopranos series finale, Made in America. There is a major antagonistic character's final scene in a gas station that's still, roll the clip, Jimmy. So the gas station's still there, and actually, if you look at, I shouldn't try and actually put like a quick snippet or a photo of the scene, but you can see, very characteristic, I don't know what the right way to say this is, but you can see in the background, it's not relevant, it's not like talked about, no one goes to the Barnes & Noble, but in the background of this scene, you can see a busy New Jersey road, and then even further behind that, you can see a Barnes & Noble, and that's where I went and picked up some interesting titles. Now, they didn't really have that many Radiance titles, and I don't have that many, but I did want to expand the kinds of films that I have from Radiance Films, because right now I have 8 films from Radiance, and those are 4 films from Italy and 4 films from Japan, each by the same director. So I thought, ideally different countries, but mainly the focus was I want to get films by other directors, and so I picked up from what they had at the store, Viva la Muerte. Then I picked up The Facts of Murder, and this is an Italian film. Viva la Muerte is from 1971. The Facts of Murder is from 1959. Viva la Muerte is from director Fernando Arrabal. I apologize for, I'm presuming not saying that as well as intended. The Facts of Murder was directed by and starring Pietro Germi. We'll never know. Actually, I'm right here. I'm off camera. We'll never know. Then I got 2 films from Janus Contemporaries, and 2 releases from Janus Contemporaries, actually 3 films from Janus Contemporaries, and the first release is Room 666 and Room 999. It was the Room 666 999. Is that right? And so Room 666 is a 45-minute piece from 1982, and it was filmed during the Cannes Film Festival. Wim Wenders asked such filmmaking luminaries as list of filmmaking luminaries, and I'm not going to read all of them, but Steven Spielberg is apparently included in the first list. And is cinema. They're asked a question, and the conceit of the film is it's filmmakers responding to this question in a hotel room. And that's the entire. And the question is cinema a language about to get lost, an art about to die? And then 40 years later, adopting the same minimalist fixed camera format as Wenders, another filmmaker, Lumna Playlist, did not nail that, poses the same question to a group of contemporary filmmakers, and that is including Wim Wenders himself. And that film from 2023 is 98 minutes long, and if you can just see from it's a much longer list of filmmakers. This is the second one, this is the first, but I'm excited to give both of those a watch. Next up, this is another film from Wim Wenders, from Janus Contemporaries, and much like the second film in that previous collection, this is also from 2023. How would you say this? Anselm, Anselm. Anselm. It's not really something that I know much about. It is a documentary about a painter and a sculptor, but it was shot in 6K resolution, and yeah, I feel like that Wenders does a lot of things with such I don't know if passion, but like, I'm not sure what the right way of describing it is, but he really has such a way of making films that like he can make really interesting things, like profound, but then he can also conversely take really boring things and make them really interesting, which is sort of the what you want from a filmmaker, because it's not just like you can have someone who's really good at doing one kind of film, and then like if they're doing other things it's like unwatchable, but like if you can get someone who's like so good and like puts such like a humanity in their work that like a film that about a painter or a sculptor is interesting when that's more of like a physical medium, you know. And like there's more visceral and tactile kind of fields of the arts that are easier to capture on film, such as music. So I really like Thelonious Monk, I really like jazz, And so it was no question that I had to run straight, no chaser, or I had to chase after. I'm sorry. The 1988 Criterion release that recently was released into the collection, a documentary about Thelonious Monk called Thelonious Monk Straight No Chaser. Who directed this? It is from Charlotte Zoerin. I'm excited to give this a watch. Recently, I watched a film that's also from the 80s and a jazz documentary, but very different in that the subject of that was still live at the time, and so you had a lot of kind of interesting access to that musician, and that musician was more commercially successful doing like jazz. That movie was Artie Shaw, All You've Got Is Time. I think it might be phrased slightly differently than that, but it's fascinating movie. But Thelonious Monk is one of my favorite musicians of all time, and sort of just one of the most interesting musicians of all time. So this is sure to be intriguing to me at the very least, just on the very basis of the fact of who Thelonious Monk is as a person. How many more times can I just say Thelonious Monk, Thelonious Monk, Thelonious Monk, Thelonious? Did you know on Thelonious Monk's last album, Underground, there's a song called Ugly Beauty that it was his first and only recorded waltz on record? You so-and-so. Anyways. We round this out with a recent film, a Best Picture winner, awards, hubbub, a lot of commotion about this film. I still haven't seen it. I have a feeling I'll like it. It's Anora, the 4K Blu-ray combo pack, and it is very well conceived. Even the paper of the booklet in here has a nice tactile feel to it. This is the inside. You have 3 discs in here, just because of how much supplementary material they give you, and that's just downright neat. Anyway, here's a fun story that isn't really my story to tell. I'm gonna pull this down because we recorded the entire video. Turn that off. I'm sorry. It just... So, Sean Baker, who's the director of this movie, apparently had his first experience with... I've seen this said a few different ways, and it's not necessarily a different thing, although it might be implying a different thing depending on which one it is. I have this isn't like a actually, but fun fact that it's either was Sean Baker's first experience with, and granted these are not necessarily mutually exclusive things, Sean Baker apparently had his first experience with sex workers and or at a strip club at a little establishment that used to be in operation in a town called Manville, New Jersey, called Frank's Chicken Shack. House. It's never Frank's Chicken. It's never Frank's Chicken Lupus.